Nice to meet you. I am Julie Perry. Worked at MPA for about 8 years now. I am also an alum of the school. I have 4 children at the school in every division, early learning, lower, middle, and upper. So I'm happy to answer any questions you have, obviously financial aid related, but also any questions you have about the school in general. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to afford an MPA education. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And like Ali said, please, if you have any questions at all during the presentation, use the chat feature, or certainly you can email any of us afterwards with questions, and we'll get back to you right away. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yep, we're good.
Great. Oh, that's just me. Picture me. Okay. So the types of financial assistance that we have available at MPA, the most common one that we use for almost all of our families, about 60% of our families do apply for and qualify for index tuition, which is just our name for financial aid. It basically means that we index our tuition to your income. So every year families have to apply because we have to verify your income every year. And I'll get into that more in a minute about that process. Merit scholarships, that link is available on our website, and that is only available to upper school students. So if your child is applying for 9th through 12th grade, you can definitely apply for merit aid if you do not think that you'll qualify for financial aid. You can have both, but typically merit scholarships are for students who may not qualify for full financial aid. Outside scholarships that we have used in the past, some of these deadlines may have passed, but if you have a middle school student, you should go ahead and tell Ali what grades you're looking for in the chat. So that way I'll know if I don't need to talk about certain grades. But basically, these scholarships are available to high school students. So you have to get involved with these scholarships during your student's 8th grade year. And a lot of these deadlines have already passed. So if your child is in middle school, 6th or 7th, or you should really start thinking about these scholarships now. Link Unlimited, Daniel Murphy, HFS Chicago Scholars, they are all organizations that have worked with us in the past. And they typically award anywhere from $1,500 to $4,500 per student. And the reason they're so great is they really support your student if they have, additional needs or tutoring or just everything. So they're really great organizations if you want to take a look at those. Neighborhood scholarships are funded by Morgan Park Academy. We reach out to various neighborhood schools in the area, not just in Beverly, but we do go a little further into Indiana, Northwest Indiana, and we offer neighborhood scholarships. So you don't necessarily need to qualify for these with your income. You just need to have a very academically gifted child. So you can reach out to admissions to apply for those. And those are great because that is half off of tuition without needing to apply for aid. There are tuition loans available through private lenders such as Sallie Mae. I typically do not recommend these to our families. As you know, I don't know how close you are or far you are from needing to apply to college, but all of us are going to have to apply for college soon and possibly get loans. So I would hate for a family to have to go that route, but we have had a couple families in the past that have used Sallie Mae. Invest in Kids scholarships. These are scholarships you may have heard in the last couple of years. a state program that Illinois started to basically give donors tax credits for any money that they donated to scholarship granting organizations. They would get a 1-for-1 credit on their taxes if they gave money to these organizations, and then the organizations would pass that money on to schools. So the two organizations that we've worked a little bit with are Empower Illinois and the Big Shoulders Fund. To be completely honest with you, we have only had one student qualify for this type of scholarship, and we did get awarded that through the Big Shoulders Fund. The problem is that if no one donates specifically to Morgan Park Academy, then that organization will not filter any funds to us. There are a certain amount of discretionary pooled funds that, once a donor, if they donate, X number of funds, at the end of it, there's a pool of funds after all the schools are awarded funds, and those discretionary funds could be awarded to us. We just have not seen that yet. So I definitely would give it a shot, and just see if you could get some money that way. And I'm happy to speak to anyone at Empower Illinois or Big Shoulders on your behalf if they put you in touch with us to see if we can get a scholarship through them. We do offer tuition payment plans. Most of our families are on a monthly plan. Typically how it works is enrollment contracts come out in January. They are due at the end of February, and most parents start their payment plans in June. And that way they have from June to the following May to pay. So they have a full 12 months to pay off their annual tuition. With most new families like you guys, it's really going to depend how quickly you get through the admissions process and through the financial aid process so that we can process your award, have your contract ready, and start your payment plan. The later you start the enrollment process, the admissions process, the more squeezed you're going to be to get your monthly payments lower. So if you don't get your contract in until August, then we can't start your payment plan till September. You still need to be done by May. So obviously your payments would be higher. So we highly recommend getting your paperwork, your tour, all of that done as early as possible so that you can start your payment plan early. We do offer sibling discounts for second and all subsequent children. So if you have a bigger family, that may help. So how you apply for index tuition, which is our financial aid, is you will go to our website, and basically on the tuition and affordability page of the admissions page, you will see a link to FACTS, F-A-C-T-S, and it's a little picture of a graduation cap. And you click on that link, it'll take you to FACTS, and you will fill out your application there. They will ask you, a bunch of questions regarding your income, your monthly expenses. They will ask you to upload your most recent W-2 and 1040. And obviously now we are in November, so you're not going to have your 2020 information yet. As a proxy, you can upload prior year information, but FACTS will follow up with you. They will keep hounding you for more recent information. So if I were you, I would really wait until you have that in January, possibly February, and upload that information at the time. That'll just give us the most, recent information. They'll be able to verify your income. It'll speed the process along. Basically, once they have your tax returns, they can verify that your income is, what you said it was on the application. We will review FACTS's recommendation that they make to us on what the award should be. and then we will make an award on your MyMPA contract. So I don't know if any of you have applied yet for admission and are familiar with our portal, which is called MyMPA. That is where you will, do your application, and it also ends up, once your child is admitted, that is the portal we use for everything. Your grades will, all the kids' grades will be on there, lunch menus, bus schedules, everything that you need to check on your student will be housed in MyMPA. And that's basically starts with the application process and then goes all the way through. So once your award is completed, we will put that award on the contract out on MyMPA, and then you will sign it electronically and submit it. So like I said, that's a process that we would love to have you complete before June so that you can be ready to start your payment plan. This slide is showing you our 2020-21 tuition and fees by division. And the reason you see a range here is so for instance, for the preschool through first grade early learning division, the full freight tuition cost is $14,500. If you qualify for full aid, you can go down to $9,425. Now, if any of you are quick with math, you'll notice that that is a 35% discount. If you need more aid than that, I am happy to talk to you about it. And obviously, if you have siblings, that does factor in. So I'm happy to help you to get that to a rate that's affordable for your family. We do not go above 50% of tuition. So the lowest amount that you would pay preschool through first grade is $7,250. I would not be able to go lower than that. In your first year, you will pay a registration fee of $1,000, and that is not separate. That is just part of the deposit that you'll pay when you sign the contract. So if you do have a first grader, you qualify for full tuition, full aid. Your tuition would be $7,250. Your registration fee is $1,000, so you're at $8,250. You'll put down a deposit of 20% of that when you sign the contract, and then the rest that you owe will be divided over the 12 months. This year, because we are in this COVID situation, we do not have Global Week, and it's really unfortunate. Hopefully, we can bring it back next year or the following year. It's one of the best parts of our program. Grades 5 through 12 participate in trips that can be local around Chicago, or they can go international. And this is something that our kids absolutely love and look forward to every year. Normally, grades 5 through 8, these trips range in price from $350 to about, let's say, $1,800 in 8th grade. Typically, they go to Washington. So those fees would be on your contract. And you would be able to pay those off over a period of time. In high school, those trips are not planned until the beginning of the school year, so we don't know the prices. So basically, you learn what the trips are going to be in the fall, and then the students pick their trips, and you are billed accordingly, but obviously before travel. So they travel in March. So we'll see what happens with 21-22 at this point. It's very hard to say whether or not we'll be traveling, but that is a cost to keep in mind. You absolutely do not have to travel far in high school. So there's a $4,000, that would be a maximum cost if your child, say wanted to travel to China or India or something like that. But you do not have to do that. There's several options, and there's always local options that your kids can do. And those would be, $300, something like that. Some other costs that you should consider, and again, I put ranges here because there's ways to make all of these things affordable. And if we get off this call tonight and 6 months down the road, you want to call me, I am so happy to talk to you about ways that you can find any of these things cheaper. Uniforms is one. Hopefully your child isn't too picky about uniforms, but if they are, obviously you can go to Land's End, you can go to Martinelli's, you can go to, I think it's called Schools Are Us or something like that. Allie, you're gonna have to correct me. There's a bunch of uniforms.
Schools Are Us in Mount Greenwood on 111.
Greenwood, where you can get our logo put on a maroon polo. So we have a ton of uniforms available at the school that people donate at the end of the year. And you're welcome to just make a donation to the Parents Association and take a look at those uniforms. Some of them are in excellent condition, or you can go buy new. So that's why there's a range there. Books, also a range. Pretty much every grade level does have books that they need to buy. And that is, I would say, is probably starting in kindergarten. Actually, there's books that you'll either need to go to the website we use, which is called MBS Bookstore. You would go there and look up your child's grade and find out what they need, or sometimes the teacher supplies it and your account would just get charged for it. Every year there is a tech fee, and it seems like we are increasingly becoming more of a tech subscription sort of textbooks versus buying hard copy books. So if that book fee seems high, sometimes we can do an online textbook that might help with costs. So there is a tech fee every year, depending on how much software and different apps your child needs to use. That's what that charges for. And that will also be on your account, billed to your account. Field trips. This year, we have not been able to do any field trips, but typically the kids travel all over Chicago. So those are usually very small, maybe $7 to $20, depending on what they do, where they go. Usually most of that is a transportation sort of fee. We do offer before and after care. That starts at 7 in the morning, Allie? Is that right?
Yeah, sorry, at 7.
Okay, yeah, 7 in the morning are before.
6.
Okay, 7 in the morning, our before care starts, and our after care goes to 6 p.m. So you can pay for that, as you go. And the more you use it, basically, the cheaper the per hour rate is. So that's why there's a range there. If you use it every single day, 5 days a week, it'll be more like $7 an hour. If you use it just sporadically, it's about $10 an hour. The next item are middle school language trips. This is unfortunately another thing that we're not doing right now. These are completely optional trips. But they're very cool. Every other year, usually the middle school 7th and 8th graders will travel to a country that speaks the languages that we offer, which are Mandarin, French, and Spanish. So in past years, they've gone to Paris, they've gone to Canada, they've gone to Panama, Mexico, China. So those are optional, like I said. That would really be a family decision, because obviously they're going to be traveling soon enough when they get into high school. Our lunch program is approximately $1,000 a year. It really, again, depends on how much you use it. Most meals are like $5, $5.50 per day. And you can load a card that your child will use when they go to the dining room. We offer lunch to first grade and up. So they will go over to the dining hall to eat, and the pre-K and kindergartners eat in their classroom. So they still bring their lunch every day. and everyone's welcome to bring their lunch every day. This is just, if you bought it, it might be about $1,000 a year. We do offer transportation. It is through a private company, and you can sign up for that on our website, and the woman that's in charge of that company would get back to you with an approximate price. A lot of parents like door-to-door service, so her price might be a little different from this, but typically round trip service for the year is around $3,000. This chart, and I'm happy to share it with you later if you need a breakdown, just sort of gives you an idea of what monthly payments or quarterly payments would look like for each different division. And like I said earlier, I'm going to go again with the preschool example. You know, this is assuming an aid rate of 35%. But like I said, I can go as high as 50%. So the number you see here, the 12 monthly payments of, you know, between $695 and $1,033, that could come down slightly if you do qualify for more aid. And I want to make sure you're aware that a lot of families will fill out a financial aid application and then give me a call afterward to tell me a little more. So if there's something that you're unable to show on a financial aid application, but there's, you know, in some way your family has been impacted this past year, like all of us have been, you know, feel free to reach out to me so that I can know, you know, your story and what's going on and how we might be able to help you a little more. You know, maybe your W-2 or your 1040 doesn't reflect really what happened to you this past year. So I'm happy to speak to you privately. That is all I have. If you guys have any questions, feel free to submit those questions in the chat and Allie will get back to you, or you can email me directly. I'm at jperry@morganparkacademy.org. Or anything you send to Allie, she can forward to me, and I'll get back to you that way.
All right, perfect. And I did put all that info in the chat as well. So we have the email addresses in there. And then I'll leave the chat open for just a few minutes. So if you do have any questions that come in, feel free to, you know, answer them. Other than that, definitely, you know, visit our website, take a little peek at that virtual tour. Or if you're comfortable, schedule, we're doing small group in-person tours. So schedule those Saturday tours, and that's all done through the website. But I'll hang out here for just a little bit just to see if you have any questions. If you don't, feel free to sign off, but hopefully we'll, you know, chat again soon. So thank you so much, Julie, for presenting today, and everyone, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about the neighborhood?
Sure. Yeah, so we're in the Morgan Park.
I'm sorry, not the neighborhood for the school. The neighborhood grant. Did she say that you did not have to live in the area?
You don't have to live in the area. It depends on, it's certain schools that we have partnerships with. So for the neighborhood scholarships, it's different schools in the Chicagoland area that are like sister schools to us. And that's how you can qualify for the neighborhood scholarship.
So are the neighborhood scholarships only for certain grades?
That's only available for 9th grade and up.
Okay.
So that's only a high school. So really, for us, the internal scholarships are all only for 9th grade and up. So we offer financial aid for the lower grades. But if you're looking for something additional than our financial aid model, you would need to apply for outside scholarships.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see, it looks like I might have some new stuff going on in the chat down here. Does the school have a summer camp? Yeah, we do. So even this past summer, with the new COVID restrictions, we did have an in-person camp as well. Students did have to wear masks, so we'll kind of see what summer, looks like this year. But we always have an in-person camp that's available for pre-K 3-year-olds all the way up through different high school course classes that are available in the summer as well. So for our younger guys, it's usually an 8-week summer camp, and you can sign up for 2-week shifts of it. So you can do the full 8 weeks if you want, or if you're going out of town, you can kind of, plan your summer vacations around that. And then we have a half day option, which is 8:30 to 11:30. And then we have a full day option, which is 8:30 to 3. And then we do also have aftercare available in the summer as well. And so students, you can pick from like an academic track or more of a recreational camp where they'll play outdoor games, do archery. We have different like sprinklers and water slides and pools outside. There's usually a cooking camp. There's like some sort of tech component like Minecraft or things like that. So you can kind of help build the program that, makes the most sense for your child's interest. Pricing, you know what, they have not released the prices yet for the upcoming summer camp, but I know that they're typically released right around the holidays. We do have great discounts if you sign up for the entire program, like the entire 8-week program. And we have like early discounts. So if you sign up early, that's when you'll get your best pricing for it. Price was last year. You know what? I actually don't know off the top of my head, because like I said, there were different pricing structures and last year was so different due to COVID. So we only ran it for 6 weeks. So I don't want to throw out a number out there that I'm not 100%, certain will be accurate this year as well. But like I said, you can check the website usually right around the holidays. They'll post that up because we know parents are, starting to think down the road of, oh my gosh, what's going to keep my kids busy this summer. So right around December, you can take a peek at the website and there'll be a link for summer camp up. Hours of the regular school day. So our school day goes from 8 in the morning until 3 p.m. We do have before care available as early as 7. And then the aftercare goes until 6 p.m. Typical qualifying income cutoff. Okay, so that's kind of the beauty of meeting with Julie like you did tonight. So FACTS has, kind of their own system. So there's not one hard number for income, and they also ask different household income questions. They ask household expenses questions. So they kind of FACTS, the company, puts families on that sliding scale, but we look and kind of do a deeper dive. And that's where it's really important, that if you get your number and you're still not comfortable with it, like Julie said, you request a meeting, you kind of talk about your family situation, and we have the flexibility to work with families to make it within their means. So we've had families, that make a substantial amount of income, but then come to kind of tell us how their family business is affected by COVID or by, any sort of economic issue, or they have a sick grandma at home that they have to take care of. And we personalize it way more than just FACTS does from that application process. So we always encourage people to apply no matter what. Like, even if you don't think you're going to get anything, stick your numbers in there, because I feel like families are really surprised how generous we are on the financial aid scale. All right, any other questions coming in? I'd be happy to answer before we wrap up. Thank you, Raven. Thank you so much for joining. And then definitely email us if you have questions. I would love to give you a tour of campus. I'm the one that does the tours on Saturdays. So I can meet you, we're here all the way through December, every other Saturday, to kind of walk through the building, kind of picture what it's like with children there, since, we can't visit while school's in session, but really getting a feel for, it's a beautiful school community for sure. So I have 2 kids that go there as well. So in 4th grade and 2nd grade. All right. Well, if there's no more parting questions, I will let everyone go about their evening. I know we're probably all zoomed out by 6:30 at night. Everyone's at their Zoom overload. So I will not keep you any longer than we need to. But don't hesitate to reach out. Again, admissions@morganparkacademy.org, or head over to our website. You can book a virtual tour, an in-person tour, a one-on-one phone call. We can connect you directly to the business office. If you want to chat with Julie directly, whatever you need, we are, here for you to make this process as seamless as possible. So thank you guys so much for joining. Stay healthy, everyone, and hopefully I can welcome you to our campus soon. All right, good night.